So our life should be in regards to learning from Ahlul Bayt. Just one hadith which I know I have narrated before, but it is a lesson for the children. Never think that you are at such an age that you have 100 years in front of you. Because Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam says that life should be thought as one day is in your favor and the next day is against you. What is the meaning of this? The meaning is that the time that you have been given in this dunya should be used to make yourself a better person. Because who knows, tomorrow you will not awaken to see the next day. Death is that reality, no matter what age you are. If your time is up in this dunya, the angel of death will come and take your soul. At a young age, are you prepared to face your Imam? Are you prepared to face the final messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? A person once came to Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam. Now this is especially for my youngsters, for the youth. Try to learn from this hadith and try to implement this hadith into your life. And then watch how through the barakat of Ali Muhammad your life will change. So a person came to Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam and said, Mawla, my master, I am a very sinful person. And no matter how hard I try to stop myself, I cannot stop myself from doing wrong things. I cannot stop myself from committing guna, from committing sins, from upsetting Allah Azza wa Jal. Oh Imam, give me some advice that will help me overcome this problem. Yani, what is the first thing that we learn? That before you can find a solution, you need to acknowledge that you have a problem. If you are using foul language, if you are swearing, if you are lying, if you are backbiting, if you are talking about your friends behind their backs, if you are using your tongue to defame someone, then the first step is to acknowledge that you have a problem. This person says, Mawla, I cannot stop myself from committing guna, from committing sins, from upsetting Allah Azza wa Jal. What is your advice to me, O Hussain ibn Ali? Now Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam mentioned 5 things. Now if we can understand these 5 things, then inshallah that will help us in changing our lives. Especially the youth, my youngsters, my sons, listen to me carefully. The first thing Imam Hussain says, if you can live without eating from the sustenance, the risk that Allah Azza wa Jal has provided you, then you can continue with your life as you are continuing. And what is Mawla saying? Can a person live without eating the rizq of Allah? Every single thing that you have in your life, everything that you call food, that makes you big and strong and healthy, can you survive without eating food for one day? Probably. But as time passes, your body will grow weak. So Mawla is saying that if you want to continue upsetting Allah, continue in doing ghunaah and sins, then if you can live without the sustenance of Allah Azza wa Jal, then continue your life. The second thing, Imam says, if you can leave that area, that piece of land which is not owned by Allah Azza wa Jal, then continue your life. Every single piece of land, earth, water, everything that we see, who is the creator? Allah Azza wa Jal. The third thing is, choose such a place where Allah Azza wa Jal cannot see you. Can you find such a place in this dunya that Allah cannot see you? No, you can't. Look at the advice that Mawla is giving. The fourth thing, Mawla says, when the angel of death, Israel, comes to take your soul, if at that point you can say to the angel of death that I do not want to leave this dunya, if you have that much power, then continue your life as you are continuing. No one has power over the angel of death. Even the prophets went with the angel of death. Every single wali, awliya, had to leave when the angel of death came. The fifth thing is, and the most important if you try to understand, that when the angel of death takes your soul and the angels are dragging you towards hell, if you at that moment in time can say to those angels that I do not want to go to Jahannam, I do not want to go to hell, then the Imam says, continue your life as you are continuing. This person sat down and thought, Mawla, I eat from the rizq provided by Allah. I live on the earth which is owned by Allah. I cannot go in such a place where Allah cannot see me. I will have no power when the angel of death comes. And Mawla, I have no authority when the angels are taking me to hell. I will have no control over my fate. Mawla, insha'Allah, with your du'as and barakat, I will no longer commit any sins. So make the niyyat through the wasila of Aba Abdullah al-Hussain, through these ayam mein aza of Imam Hussain, that we will continue to please Allah Azza wa Jal, to please Muhammad and Ali Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, and spend our lives according to how Allah, His Prophet and the Imams want us to live. For the acceptance of your du'as, a loud salawat please.